Hey everybody, thanks for joining me on the very much anticipated 3-year review of the Bentelli Beyond cart. If you're watching this channel, I'm sure you've recognized this cart. It's the Bentelli Beyond from 2022, which I haven't seen any updates to any of the carts that I've seen on the showroom floor since then. So I guess they're doing something right because they're not changing much. Some of the quick changes that I have noticed is the way that they key the glove box. It's now matching the ignition cylinder rather than having a second separate key. They also have a much better battery option with the lithium battery packs. I do have the lead acid batteries in here. They did have it as an option, but they had only, I think, one battery pack at the time, and they had no information that they could tell me on it other than it was gonna cost me a lot more money. Now in hindsight, I probably should have taken that deal, but I decided not to. But that's okay because that gives me an opportunity now in the future to upgrade that to a lithium battery of my choosing rather than just the one or two they have on the showroom floor. Currently, I'm sitting at 2,200 and we're just gonna call that 2,300 miles in 3 years. So I know the first year I went well over 1,000. Second year, we didn't drive it quite as much. And now the third year, it's definitely getting a lot less use, but that doesn't mean that we're not having any less fun driving this cart. It's just, you know, I think we got better with going to shopping trips and taking nights out to restaurants outside of the golf carting area. Because now we're post-COVID and we don't have to stay in our nice, neat little areas or go run, pick up food and come back, which was very convenient. So even though we haven't been driving it as much, it doesn't mean there's anything or any reason why I'm not, except for time. Wish I had more time. Definitely need more time to drive around the cart. For the current condition of the cart, I'd say it held up very well. Honestly, it's not been much maintenance at all. I'll get to that here in just a second for what I do on maintenance. But the overall condition is fairly well. I keep it washed, usually. It's a little dirty now for the pine pollen that we've got going on. Obviously, there's a bit of nastiness going on there. That stuff's just nasty though, and it gets everywhere. But a quick hosing off or hit it with a pressure washer, all gone. I'll start right here in the driver's area. I did change the steering wheel to an aftermarket steering wheel. I did keep the Bintelli B right there in the center though. This is just a 1010 LOL blue matching steering wheel. That's actually a very, very close match for the hydro blue. Condition of the seats, I would say, is very good. This black definitely does get hot in the sun, but other than that, great condition of the seats. No rips, no tears, no issues with them front or back. Still got the old school radio here and separate backup camera. I really wish Bintelli would have put an all-in-one unit that would have more of a graphical screen like you see on other carts, but this is what they're still putting in currently today. We still got the cup holders. This wire right here is for the backup camera that I got right there. And of course, as I'm going through all these mods and things that I've done to it, just, you know, it's in the description. I'll have links to all these different things. It's like I recognize that voice, but I can't quite place where I heard that. I've also upgraded the sound system a time or two. Currently have this no-am system here. It's I think it's actually meant for boats or like razors, things like that. And it does work kind of okay. I'm not gonna suggest anybody gets this. I'm gonna go and switch it over to a soundbar system. It'll just sound a lot better than this portably amplified system here. And it'll also sound better than the factory radio, just right and left little speakers. But again, I do still have the Kicker CS speakers right here. They do still work. They're hooked up to the amplifier and they work okay. It's just, I want something a little, I don't want to say more annoying to all the neighborhood people, but I want it to be louder, more clear. I want it to just sound better, more like a car stereo system. And then on the off chance that I actually get lost, I'd like to have Google Maps, although it's probably not good if you're getting lost in your neighborhood. You might want to get that checked out. But if you find yourself going to other neighborhoods or cruising around unfamiliar areas, I don't know, maybe you're one of those people like me that I'll trailer it to the beach or I'll trailer it to a campsite or, you know, any other area that I'm wanting to have a golf cart for, well, honestly, just to show off and so that I can cruise in a different location. Or take the family out to eat, I guess. I guess those people should eat sometimes. I do still have the 2 different alarm systems on it, and the magnetic alarm I keep on the key. The Viper alarm system fell off and I didn't put it back on. Somehow it just broke off. It couldn't be that I was just, you know, throwing it somewhere. It does still work, it's just a little glitchy. This one I know always works every time. I looked on Amazon and there isn't a good replacement for the Viper alarm system. So I'll keep my eye open for something that's similar to it, something for a motorcycle, but there's no guarantee that somebody in China will come out with one of those again. But we can hope. For the battery compartment area, I'm sure mine looks about like yours if you have the deep cycle batteries. It's pretty clean for the most part. I think I accidentally didn't put this on all the way and it kind of spilled a little bit of the liquids around. That's probably not good. I should probably wipe that up. But other than that, I fill these up every 2 to 4 weeks. It's really not that big of a deal, and there's a little syringe system that I use to help just drip the water in. I don't use one of those fancy gravity systems or whatever. It's just too easy with a big syringe to just shoot it down there. It only takes a minute. Still have the winch hooked up, the no-am amplifier that goes up to the speakers, and up under this panel here I still do have the 12-volt converter and fuse box with nothing really additional hooked up since the last time I did a video many months ago. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I haven't been on YouTube much. My bad, yo. I'm gonna start getting better about it though. Definitely have a lot more content to put out. It's gonna take me a little bit, but I'll get to it. And of course, feel free to drop any suggestions that you might have in the description below. If there's a specific soundbar you want me to put in here just to see how it looks and sounds, I take suggestions. Coming around to the front here, the tires that I have on these, like I said, about almost 3,000 miles. Or no, what did I say? 2,300 miles. That's what I said. This tread is still, I'm not gonna say like new, but in pretty good condition. I'm not gonna complain at all about the alignment or anything on my cart. And here's the passenger side wheel here. They both still look really good. I did change my alignment to, again, description, there's a link to the alignment video, and it's, I wanna say 3/4 of an inch toe out. I just found it was easier to turn tight corners with the toes out just a little bit, and toe in, it made it track really nice. So if I was, doing 25, 30 miles an hour down the road, which I was not going that fast. These carts aren't supposed to go that fast. Don't make it go that fast. But what I noticed is if I had the toe in just a little bit, it tracked fast and straight, but it didn't like to turn. So that's why I have it just toe out, just a pinch. I think it's a 3/4 of an inch difference from the front of the tire to the rear of the tire. The step bars that I fabricated for it are still working great, holding up very well, still very sturdy. If you want to see any videos about how I hooked these up, how I made these, you can be sure to look in the description to see that, of course. The winch bumper up front, I think it looks a lot better than the factory bumper. That factory bumper does look pretty good for a cart like this. I just wanted something a little more rugged, something I actually pull on, tug on, and of course put a winch on. Because, you never know when you need a winch. But why would you want a winch on a golf cart? What kind of a moron does this stuff with a golf cart? Huh? Oh, wait, yeah. But yes, this nice little Harbor Freight winch has definitely gotten some use with probably some stuff that just voided my warranty if they're watching this. These things even have a warranty? Yeah, actually, they do. It's like a year, 3 years, something like that. I'm sure they told you about it. I just knew as soon as I rolled this thing out the showroom floor, I was about to violate that warranty. Coming around to the back, I'll show you the tires real quick. These are actually showing just a little bit more wear. I'm just guessing it's because it's a rear wheel drive. Kids, adults, there's just a lot more weight going on the back tires. But in all, 2,300 miles, there's not that much wear to them. The tow hitch that I made for this, still holding up well, and oh yeah, I forgot to paint it. I should probably do that. I'm sure there's a video clip of me towing something with this thing. Because of course, you gotta be able to hook a trailer up to the cart, that you put the cart on the trailer. It makes sense, doesn't it? And make sure you do that if you haven't yet. Back here in the back, oh, hey, that's where I put that. So this is my fan. There's a fan video where I compared some different fans, and this is the one that I decided I liked the best. Or maybe it's just the last one that my wife and daughter didn't steal from me. Thanks. They did like those battery operated fans. Those are very good fans that I also reviewed. But this one here, it puts out more air for me. It hooks up to the little 12-volt power outlet up front. And it's just super convenient. But I still use this tray for my flag holder. This is the hitch that I use. And I've also got a step that I put on it. But that went on the next thing I'll show you here. And if your cart didn't come with the little straps to lift your seat, there's of course a link for an accessory adding of these. And of course, you gotta make it match. Oh yeah, that was another new thing that the newer carts have. They have those on the showroom floor with the little pull straps. Like, I don't know why they didn't come with that from the factory to begin with. I mean, that just kind of seems obvious. You need to be able to lift the seat easy. Coming on up to the roof. Oh, hey, what do we have here? That's right. Yeah, you got to make sure that you got the rear camera going too. All kinds of craziness happens out the back. The roof in general is holding up very well. I do still have the rub marks up here, and I just quit trying. There are some like little door strip thingies, those little stick-on things that you put on cars to make them less likely to get the little bumps and bruises and dents in the parking lot. You could put something like that up and over this, just to make sure that you're not scraping up the roof. But I can't even tell you how many hundreds of times I've run this thing in and out of my garage. And that little white dot there, these little bit of scratches, that little white dot there and a little bit of scratches, That's it. This thing's gone in and out of a garage hundreds and hundreds of times. I'd say it's held up pretty well. Actually, anything that holds up to my abuse, that's pretty good. And I use some pool noodles and some Jeep or Bronco grab bar things right here. It works pretty well to help the kids in and out. I did leave the passenger side one on here also from the factory. At least one of the ones in the back broke. So I'm not gonna say how durable those are. I wouldn't go trusting them with a lot of faith. A nylon strap and handle, that's just much better. Oh, hey, I just realized I still haven't switched these out. So yeah, I've got these, the hard style here in the front and the braided rope style in the back. I don't know how I just realized that that's been that way for like, what, a year or so now? Dude, you're super observant. Now, when people are looking for their perfect guy or gal or whatever it is that they like to hold on to at night, they say that everybody's got a type. I'm sure that I absolutely do not have a type. I mean, it's not like there's any one thing that I'm like, oh, hey, it's got to have a lift, or it's got to be tall, or it's got to be, oh. Well, I mean, maybe I do. I swear this does not mean that I like them big, I promise. So here is the other thing that I made for a step for the golf cart so that it was easier to have the girls getting in and out of the golf cart. Just a nice little step with a reverse to it, so that way it's not sticking out so far. And it's real easy, just step right on up here. So yeah, that goes on the cart too, normally. Might have to make another one for this. It's just easier to get the top up and down on it. So hopefully I'll be posting a bit more Wrangler content in the future. Hopefully don't mind Bentelli and Wrangler content on the same channel. But I figure about anything that I can do to a Wrangler, I can do to a golf cart. Or conversely, anything that I do to a golf cart, I could probably do to a Wrangler, like an Android Auto system. I need one in both. You never know when you'll be out on the golf course or the trail and get lost. I don't get lost. I simply find a different way back. It's more about the adventure. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna lie to myself and tell. Okay, so on to the likes and dislikes of the Bintelli cart after 3 years of driving it around and trying not to kill myself or anybody else in the cart or destroy the cart itself. Or maybe I was trying to destroy it. I don't know. I might have some videos I'd be able to put in here so that you guys can see all the dumb stuff I've been doing with this thing.
Oh yeah, there she comes.
Hey, away we go. I wonder if this voids the warranty. I wonder what the tow rating is on this thing. One of the things that I do like is the seats. These are very comfortable seats. When you look at a lot of the other carts out there, sometimes they've got a thinner seat or a thicker seat that looks a little more cushier. Even in the front here, they do have a slightly molded back. It's not that pillowy, fluffy kind of a back or seat, because this is contoured a bit too. I would just call them comfortable seats. It's not like they're anything fancy or they're not anything super uncomfortable for long rides, and they've held up very well. Their durability is pretty good. Good choice of materials and a nice squishiness. Squishiness? My bony butt just doesn't seem to mind. I can drive this thing for hours and be okay. Well, I mean, my back hurts, but my butt's fine. Another one of the things I really like is the windshield wiper that it's got right here. This works excellent if you're caught out in the rain. It's just nice to be able to see when it's pouring down rain. I'm not sure if I can find any of the old videos from when I was driving this thing around in the rain and the puddles, but it worked well. The LED lights, I like that it has LED lights all the way around. Any newer cart is gonna give you the LED lights. So, I mean, that's not much, I guess, on that one. The little backup camera that's got going on here, it is kind of adjustable up and down just a little bit. It's nice to be able to, just when I'm backing in the garage, to be able to see that I'm not gonna hit the welding table or knock over a pressure washer or run over a small child or something. These seat belts I do like, they are very good. It's also a gripe though. The seat belts in the back are good for kids, not adults. And the seat belts here in the front are good for adults and not kids. Adults sitting in the back are gonna get choked by the rear seat belts, and kids in the front are gonna get choked by these seat belts. And there's no adjustability to them. So if you want to raise it or lower it to make it fit you or your child, yeah, you're gonna have to get one of those little clippy things or just deal with it choking you in the back seat. But if you do have a smaller person and you're wanting to put them in the front, there's those little child seat kind of things. They have them for cars, or at least they used to. You know, back in the good old days, you know, seat belts, your mother's arm, that was your seat belt. But no, there's little clippy things that can lower the belt down so it hits the child a little bit better across the chest rather than across the neck. I'm not gonna show you the motor, but I'll show you the tires. The motor has some good giddy up. It definitely gets up and goes. I did reprogram my cart. There's another video in the description. The tires, very good choice of tires. These hold up very well as long as your alignment is good. Unfortunately, I still can't find any way to adjust the camber on these, which if you've got tire issues, I mean, adjust the alignment as best you can for the toe. But other than fabricating a new strut holder for the top, I'm not thinking of any way to adjust the camber on these things. As far as the brakes and suspension goes, you can see the tiny little brake pads under there, and the little baby four-wheel drive off-road in the back, and the off-road suspension in the front. These are pretty good choices, as long as you don't mind getting beat up if you run over a speed bump or any lumps or bumps anywhere. It is a very firm suspension. I was kind of hoping that it would soften up over time. The only thing that I've found to actually soften the suspension is to drop the tire pressure. But when you drop the tire pressure, then you're going to have a bit of a softer, squishier feel. It's not going to get as good of electrical mileage? Or is it still gas mileage? No, you won't be. It gets less miles on a charge. Charge per mile, mile per charge. It's gonna reduce anyway. You'll also probably wear out the tires just a little bit faster, but the lower tire pressure will absorb the shock just a bit more from any bumps that you do run over or small children, making it ride just a bit smoother down the course or roads or wherever it is that you're taking this thing. And when it comes to the range, I've been getting pretty consistently 20, 25, no problems. Anything over 25 though, I get a little sketched out about. I have taken it 26, 27 miles. There's an obvious performance drop when the battery gets down that low. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't say anything about the aluminum frame. It does have an aluminum frame. Okay, yeah, I said that. It's got an aluminum frame. If you want an aluminum frame, you know what I'm talking about. If you want the steel frame, you want to be able to weld to it, or you don't have to worry about salt water like I do, then maybe you want a steel frame. Totally up to you. I like that it has an aluminum frame though. I do take it out to the beaches and islands, and I like to be able to not worry that my frame's gonna rot out underneath me. Okay, so a few of my dislikes. I think I kind of hit on one earlier in the video. The backup camera. I really do wish that this thing was integrated into the radio. This setup here, you can see on mine even, like, it's not as sticky as it probably once was. Well, I can tell you, it's not as sticky as it once was. It is coming off. It would just be really nice if this was integrated into the radio, like most of the other cart manufacturers nowadays. If there's one upgrade that I would say that Bintelli does need to do, it's that radio and backup camera. And the speakers. I mean, come on, man. You gotta be able to do something different with these speakers. Or offer like a factory sound bar, or have like a little box speaker or some sort of an overhead console sitting up here, and just have that standard for everybody. Just clean up the whole dash, just clean up the whole thing. No speakers on the dash, put them up there, or put up a sound bar and just have it done. But definitely replace this radio, please. That radio is awful. Another one of the dislikes, I kind of already said, the seat belts here. It would be nice if there was some adjustability to the seat belts, and so that's gonna go on my dislike list, that an adult in the back gets choked, and a kid in the front gets choked. So either you keep adults in the front, you don't have them buckled in, or you get the little clippy things for kids so that they don't get choked by the belt up front. In the back, kids are fine. In the front, adults are fine. So just keep them that way, I guess. I guess it's just a dislike of mine. Another dislike is when it comes to the maintenance items, the brake fluid reservoir. Does anybody know where that is? It's under your floor mat, right underneath your dash. It is completely hidden. There is no way to just easily service that part. I am gonna put a video together of brakes in the future. I am gonna have a brake breakdown. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of something. Brake breakdown. I should totally call the video brake breakdown. That's a good idea. But yes, I'm gonna have a breakdown video of the brakes. How do you service them? Brake pads, you know, what do they look like? Are they replaceable? I'm sure at some point somebody's gonna wear out their brakes. Or what do you do if too much water gets into the line? How do you flush your brakes out? These are all things that you're gonna need to know, hopefully not anytime soon, but somebody might need to know how to get down up under there and dig everything out and where to find everything. But if you ever wondered what this lump was right behind your gas pedal, this right here, that is the cap. It's hard to show you, but there's a cap right there that spins off. That's your brake fluid reservoir. So don't kick that very hard. But I will try and get that out very shortly. Let's see here, other gripes. The one I hit on earlier, just the suspension still being stiff, and you've got to deflate the tires if you want to have any kind of a squishy, cushy ride. But I mean, if you like Jeeps, I'm sure the suspension won't bother you at all. Let's see here, other gripes. Batteries, lead acid batteries. I mean, it's kind of, ever since the lithium batteries came out, lead acid batteries are kind of bleh. You'll get more speed, more giddy up and go out of the lithium batteries, maybe even a little bit more range. I'm kind of surprised that Bintelli doesn't have a complete all lithium lineup like some of the other manufacturers do yet. You can still get lead acid batteries for now. Oh, hey, I've got a good gripe. This one I'm sure somebody might also relate to. When it comes to replacing your LED lights, they're not very replaceable, and they're quite expensive if you do need to. Let me get my lights turned on. So here you can see that my light is turned on, and when I come around here to the front, well, I'm not gonna blind you too bad, you'll see that that light's on, that light is on, and when you come over here, the side marker light is on. This headlight went out about a year-ish after purchase, and when I saw that it was gonna cost me like $200 or something to get that headlamp replaced, and of course if you take it into the shop, there's gonna be an hourly rate to that as well, you're looking at $500–600 easy to replace a headlight. And like seriously, it just seems like such a basic thing. You need to be able to replace a headlight easily. Lights go out. So I've been using my little owl light right here. Owlie right here, he works great in place of the headlights. What I will do is I will switch on the brights with a little clicky clicky. And then you can see that both the passenger side and driver's side brights do work just fine. But while they do work just fine, that stupid little owl, I mean, it's kind of cute really, but it works so much better than the factory headlights do. And let's see, I'm not sure, I don't remember which one it's on. I think it's that one. But yeah, Mr. Owl right there definitely puts a lot more light straight down the road, where these lights here go off to the sides real well and cover that. This guy right here gets me way down the road. Okay, so likes, dislikes, general thoughts on the cart after 3 years. I love it, honestly. I made a good decision, I think. I don't say that often. I don't make good decisions a lot of times, but it's been fun. Maybe I'll make good decisions less often or more often. But it's been fun, it's been great. No major mechanical issues, which is always a plus. It's been very durable, carries everybody around whenever we want to go someplace that's right around here. It trailers easy, and with the hitch on the back, I can then hook the trailer up to the golf cart and take it someplace else if I need to, or just use it to get lumber back from Lowe's. Although I do get some weird looks when I do that. Okay, so one last shameless plug to, you know what to do here. Some of my upcoming videos are going to be, of course, on that brake surface like I just said. I am going to also be putting a speaker bar or a different sound system in here. I will take suggestions if anybody has something in mind that they want to see how it looks or how it operates. Let me know. I'll buy whatever you want within reason. My wife watches this thing. I mean, come on, be reasonable. Of course, if it wasn't reasonable, I just say, send me an email. Thankfully, she doesn't look at my emails yet. In addition to the soundbar, I'm gonna go ahead and put in a Android Auto system. I think I'm gonna go ahead and try and put in a very similar system to what I'm putting in the Jeep, just to make it, although I'm not sure exactly how that's gonna work. But they're gonna be very similar videos on both of those, just, you know, golf cart versus Jeep. And another one that's gonna sound a little bit crazy is an oil change video. Not sure if you realize this, but electric carts do need an oil change every now and again. And round about a couple thousand miles and a couple years of ownership, the differential oil in the rear, you need to drain that, and you need to put it, kind of flush it and clean it all out, replace that stuff. That way you don't have any differential issues. Let's see here. Let me think, any other final last thoughts? No, in general, I think I made a good choice with this cart. If you've had any issues with your carts, I'd like to hear about them, just to see if there's anything that I might be able to disassemble on my cart, help you figure out what's going on with it. I'm not gonna go making house calls or anything to help you out with it, but if there's any questions you have, absolutely drop them in the comments. I'll see what I can do to answer your question. I don't work for Bintelli. I don't have any connection with them or anything. Of course, if they were watching, they have any like specific things that they want done. I mean, what YouTuber isn't looking for free stuff? But it's not like they would really give me a free cart, because I mean, there's not much difference between the 22s and the 25s. I don't know if the 26s will be any different. My guess is, unless they put a screen up front, there's not a whole lot different that they're gonna do to these, because it's a pretty solid good cart. If the biggest thing that I have to complain about after 3 years is that a headlight went out, let's be fair, that's not bad.
Cruising down the path in my Bentelli ride, wheels of fire burning, yeah, I can't hide. Modified madness, sparks flying tonight. Off the wrong paradigm, but it feels so right. That example, that's my aim. Setting fires, dodging all the blame. Often wrong, but it feels so right. Racing through the chaos, I'm out of sight. Lifted